Welcome to YouTube Pedia. Discover the greatest stories from history, science, and beyond. If you're curious about the world, subscribe now and join our journey through knowledge. Let's get started. Vladimir Putin, the man, the power, the secrets behind his rule. Vladimir Putin is one of the most powerful and controversial leaders of the modern world. A man who rose from obscurity in Soviet Russia to become the undisputed ruler of the Russian Federation. His journey is a mix of strategy, secrecy, and ruthless ambition. But what is the true story behind Putin's rise to power? What are the dark secrets of his leadership? And how has he managed to maintain an iron grip over Russia for decades? This is the untold story of Vladimir Putin, the spy-turned-president, the strategist, the enigma. Early life, from the streets of Leningrad to the KGB. Born on October 7, 1952 in Leningrad, now St. Petersburg, Putin grew up in a working-class family. His father was a factory worker and a World War II veteran, while his mother worked as a laborer. Young Vladimir was restless, aggressive, and fascinated by power. He was deeply influenced by the chaos of post-war Russia, where survival required cunning and strength. As a child, he was drawn to martial arts, earning a black belt in judo and developing a disciplined, strategic mindset that would later shape his leadership style. But it was his interest in espionage that truly defined his future. Putin idolized the KGB, the Soviet Union's powerful intelligence agency, and at just 16 years old, he walked into the local KGB office and asked how he could join. The officers told him he needed a law degree, so he enrolled at Leningrad State University, studying law while secretly working as an informant for the KGB. After graduating, Putin officially joined the KGB in 1975, launching his career as a spy. He was stationed in Dresden, East Germany during the height of the Cold War, where he specialized in counterintelligence, surveillance, and disinformation. It was during these years that he mastered the art of deception, manipulation, and power consolidation, skills that would serve him well in politics. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, Putin saw his world crumble. But unlike many former KGB officers who faded into obscurity, he adapted, turning his espionage experience into a political weapon. The rapid rise to power, from the shadows to the presidency. After the fall of the Soviet Union, Putin returned to St. Petersburg, where he began working for the city's mayor, Anatoly Sobchak. His role was low profile but crucial. He controlled foreign trade deals, intelligence gathering, and business connections. In 1996, Putin moved to Moscow, where he quickly caught the attention of Boris Yeltsin, Russia's first post-Soviet president. Yeltsin needed a loyal, discreet, and efficient operative, and Putin fit the profile perfectly. Within just 3 years, Putin climbed from a political nobody to the most powerful man in Russia. 1998, appointed director of the FSB, the successor to the KGB. 1999, became prime minister under Boris Yeltsin. December 31, 1999, Yeltsin unexpectedly resigned and Putin was named acting president. March 2000, won the presidential election with 53% of the vote. Putin had seized power in a way no one saw coming, swiftly, decisively, and without opposition. How Putin maintains power, political tactics, and ruthless strategies. Since becoming president, Putin has redefined Russian politics, using a combination of nationalism, media control, and authoritarian rule to stay in power. 1. Controlling the media. One of Putin's first moves as president was taking control of Russia's media. In the early 2000s, independent news outlets like NTV and TV6 were either shut down or taken over by the state, ensuring that all major news channels support the Kremlin. 2. Crushing political opposition. Over the years, numerous opposition leaders have been jailed, exiled, or assassinated. Among the most notable, Boris Nemtsov, a vocal critic of Putin, assassinated in 2015 near the Kremlin. Alexei Navalny, Putin's biggest political rival, poisoned in 2020 and later imprisoned. 3. Manipulating elections. Putin has remained in power through constitutional changes, election manipulation, and extending presidential term limits. In 2021, he signed a law allowing him to remain in power until 2036. Putin's global influence, power moves, and geopolitical conflicts. Annexation of Crimea, 2014. In one of the boldest moves of his career, Putin annexed Crimea from Ukraine in 2014. This act led to global sanctions, but inside Russia, it boosted his popularity, portraying him as a leader who was restoring Russia's former glory. Alleged U.S. election meddling, 2016 and 2020. Western intelligence agencies have accused Russia of interfering in multiple elections, particularly the 2016 U.S. presidential election, where Russian operatives allegedly used cyber warfare and disinformation campaigns to influence the outcome. The war in Ukraine, 2022 present. In February 2022, Putin launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, claiming it was a mission to denazify the country. The war has resulted in tens of thousands of deaths, global economic sanctions, and a shift in international alliances. The hidden secrets of Putin's wealth and personal life. Despite claiming a modest presidential salary, Putin is rumored to be one of the richest men in the world, with a secret $200 billion fortune hidden through offshore accounts, palaces, and luxury assets. His personal life remains shrouded in mystery. He was married to Lyudmila Putina for nearly 30 years, but they divorced in 2013. He allegedly has multiple secret children with former Olympic gymnast Elena Kabeva. Very little is known about his daughters, who live under assumed names for security reasons. Final thoughts: the future of Putin's rule. Will Putin remain in power for life? Will his secrets eventually be exposed? With increasing domestic protests, international conflicts, and economic pressures, the future of his reign remains uncertain. But one thing is clear: Putin's influence on history is Subscribe to YouTube Pedia for more deep dives into the world's most powerful and mysterious figures.